Hello everyone, my name is Álvaro Guevara and today I'm going to present two plans to fix or solve some of the failures in General Electric digital transformation strategy. This is the agenda for today. I will start with a small introduction of the company situation. After that, I will do an analysis of both issues of failures. Then I will explain the first plan. After that, I will explain the second plan. And finally, I will give a general conclusion of the case. We know that General Electric, as one of the leaders of the technology industry, with different businesses in different fields like healthcare, aviation, renewable energy and power, has an important job to keep developing new technologies and innovative services. However, we also have to recognize that the company made a series of bad decisions or failures in the journey to digital transformation. In 2013, the company decided to create its first primary digital product, which was Predix. This is a platform that provides a standard and secure way to connect machines through a company. Then in 2015, General Electric announced the creation of GE Digital with a CEO whose name is Bill Root. He was previously the VP of GE Softwares, and GE Software was just a small team that gave support to the other businesses. However, we are not here just to focus on the failures, but we want to focus on what we can learn from them and how to correct them. For this reason, in this presentation, I will describe two potential plans to solve or fix some of the company's failures in the implementation of digital transformation. I will start now explaining the two failures. First, about overinvestment. General Electric invests billions of dollars in GE Digital, just based on the fear of losing the leadership in innovation in the industry. Also in 2015, General Electric declared to have more than 1,500 employees in only one office, which means that General Electric hires a lot of people just to this project. But things didn't go well because the annual revenue of GE Digital at the end of 2018 was negative 1.2 billion of USA dollars. And as we can see in the figure here, the consolidated statement of comprehensive income shows us that starting from 2017, the company gave net losses, and this continued also on 2018. So the company wasn't doing so well. The second failure here is about the quality of the system. This is important because GE Digital partially lost his initial objective, which was to help customers. After Predix was created as a third-party developer that should integrate the new clients to help them generate short-term revenues instead of long-term value. However, most of the services of this software were used only by the company's business instead of the customer, so the company did not promote this service too well. Also, this caused that the revenues generated by Predix don't reach the forecasting ones. Now I'm going to continue with the plan of the first failure. This first plan is focused on creating a better investment strategy. The goal here is to analyze the data from new customers and current customers to create an accurate investment amount. Well, to calculate an accurate investment amount. The team for this project will consist in one financial manager, one marketing expert, and one member from each business. The idea is to have different perspectives of each business to forecast a reasonable or a better demand, then it will be easy for the marketing expert to elaborate a correct strategy for this new product or in general for this new market. And finally, the financial manager can estimate a more a more accurate amount of investment. The last step will just be the implementation of the HUB strategy, of this HUB plan. Let's start with the first step. In this first step, each business representative must research the customer's needs according to the information in the last operations. Also, since General Electric wants to create a new system and to cover new necessities, it will be necessary to collect data from services from customers or potential new customers, since this is a new market. The cost of this step will be subject to the charges of creating and distributing this survey. Also, after collecting all the data, the team will use this information to estimate a more accurate demand for this new service. I calculate that this step should not take more than 2 weeks, assuming that the first week the team will collect the information, analyze the data, and the next week they will estimate the demand. Continuing with the second step, the marketing strategy. This will be focusing on using the estimate demand to develop a market, because this is a new product to give solution for new issues, for new necessities of customers. So we will use the growth strategy model to develop the market and the product. The marketing expert should prepare a study using the new information from the estimated demand. Since this market has not been yet served, the strategy should consider the need and issues the customer are facing, so the company can develop accurate strategy. Usually, the average cost for marketing strategy goes around $10,000 to $14,000, depending on the size of the project. For this case, we will assume the price will be the highest one because it's a huge plan. This step should take approximately 1 month, since it's the more complex part of the plan, and it may require a couple of reviews before the team gets to the final strategy. Now, continuing with step 3. In the first step will be the capital budget analysis. After understanding of the customer needs and how big this new market could be, the financial manager will use all this information to estimate the most accurate amount for investment, as well as estimate the inflows, so that he can use this information with the net present value approach to evaluate the project. This will determine if the project will be viable or if there is a need for some changes to make the project more viable. So the company will not overinvest in this good project. This process should not create any additional cost and should not take more than 2 weeks to determine the final numbers. The last step is the implementation one, and the more important. Here, all members of the team will participate, since it's the beginning of the big project. The cost here will be determined by the calculation on the step 3, and it will be the investment amount. And this should not take more than a week to start the project. No, I am not saying that the project will take a week to develop, but to start it, since this is just implementation. So the main objective here is to promote the idea of the project, to educate the employees about this new system, about the software, and to make known to the customer how it works and what are the benefits of using this new system. Now let's go for the second plan. Here the plan will be focused on the quality of the system. Now the idea here is to to make the project don't lose the initial goal, which is help customers with their operations. No, usually this may be caused because of bad optimization of the map, but we already have fixed that. So the only thing we are missing is the quality of the product or services that maybe not be as what customers expect. So the team will be composed of 3 members, one representative for the customer service team to have access to the customers. Then there will be the operation manager to lead the team, and the engineer from the GE Digital, which will help with the system and softwares. Now let's start with the first step. Here we will focus on collecting data directly from the customers with the help of the customer representative. This member of the team will need to consolidate the comments, reviews from the customers to find weaknesses and strengths of the software. The analysis of data should not take more than a week, since all the information is already in possession of the company. We know that this will not require any additional cost. As we mentioned, the main objective here is to gather feedback from different customers so we can have an idea of what is the issue here. The second step will focus on implementing the Six Sigma method model to get an evaluation of the quality improvement of the service. The operation manager and the engineer should use the information from the customer reviews to process it to find which processes are not functioning as expected. Now, the idea of using the Six Sigma method is to reduce the variation of the process, which means to make all customers have the same process when they buy the service. So the first step here will be to improve the measurement of the method using a regular interval for possible new cases. So after finding the issue here, we will make repetitive we will keep repeating the process many times. Repeating the process many times to find if there is any other issue that we did not see before. If everything goes well, it should mean that the issue is fixed. So this may be the hardest part of the plan. So this should take at least 1 month to develop and find the issue after reviewing it several times. Finally, the last step is to start the changes. So here we will start implementing all the changes, update the software, and all members of the team should participate. So the final cost of this step will be the cost of this new software and any update that is required. So after finding the issue, and also it will depend on how big is this issue. On average, I estimate that the team will need at least 2 weeks to finish this step, since you need first to make the updates, show the employees what were the changes, what were the issues, and then start promoting again the services. So using the customer feedback, letting know the customers that you hear them, so they feel that their comments are important and the customer could help to improve the services. So the main objective in general is to make changes to the software so it can be more friendly for customers and also for employees. So now I'm going to give 2 final conclusions. The first one is that it doesn't matter how big is your company, no, because the best way to invest in a project is to make evaluation, so you are not in a rush, and also you don't overinvest in any good idea that maybe requires more time to develop or to achieve the goal. And the second conclusion is that the company realize that there is a process and some previous step before they enter into the journey to digital transformation. And this is digitalization, and digital transformation. This is the references for the presentation. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you enjoy it.